Here's something to ponder. Who will control the Senate in 2015 when the next Congress starts? Now, immediately people think Republicans have a great shot. The rollout of Obamacare, the unhappiness with the president. People think that Republicans are going to swipe the table in 2014. But I want to say not so fast. Republicans need to pick up 6 seats to win back the Senate. Don't forget, Joe Biden, a Democrat, is the president of the Senate. He's the tie-breaking vote if it was 50-50. So even if Republicans pick up 5 seats, the Senate is still tied 50-50. Democrats will still be the majority. So Republicans need to pick up 6. Even if they do pick up 6 seats, they'll still only have a 51-49 majority. Don't think that all of a sudden every piece of Republican legislation that they want is going to get passed. You will see Democrats filibuster so quickly that you'd think it was going out of style. But, well, we're talking about Congress. Nothing ever goes out of style. So even if the Republicans do take control, which I'll discuss in a moment, even if they do swipe the table and pick up 6 seats, they're not going to have a huge majority. And if they pick up 6 seats, taking back the majority, that assumes that Democrats pick up 0. Now, there are really only 2 seats where Democrats have a potential to gain. That would be in Georgia, where Saxby Chambliss is retiring, and in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell. And so, is it possible? Right now, I've seen polls that have London and Grimes ahead by 4 points in Kentucky. Voters in Kentucky have McConnell fatigue right now. And ultimately, don't forget that it's the middle of February right now. The election is in November. That's a long time away. In political talk, that's years. Anything could happen. Republicans could punt and screw up the debt ceiling increase. We could go into default, and that would certainly hurt Republicans. Really, anything can happen. And so, right now, Republicans think that they're going to pick up seats in West Virginia, in Iowa, in South Dakota. Now, for the most part, they'll probably pick up those. That's 3. They would also need to pick up Montana, which will have a Democrat incumbent now running for re-election because Max Baucus stepped down. That one's up in the air. Maybe they could take it. Michigan, Carl Levin is retiring. Maybe they can take it. Republicans think they can win in North Carolina, maybe, and beat a Democrat incumbent, Kay Hagan. They think maybe they can win in Arkansas, Mark Pryor. They think maybe they could win in Louisiana, Democrat incumbent. So there's your 6 right there. West Virginia, Iowa. I'm looking at a map right here. West Virginia, Iowa, South Dakota, which Democrats for the most part, unless there's some crazy whack job Tea Party candidate, which if you've looked at the elections in 2010 and 2012, the Tea Party is the only reason Republicans are not in the Senate majority right now. Republicans are their biggest enemy sometimes. They really know how to shoot themselves in the foot. So there's your 6. Now that would mean Republicans would have to run the tables, win 3 open seats, and beat 3 Democratic incumbents, which if you look at the rates of incumbency and re-election, it's pretty hard to beat 3 incumbents in any election. Now, I understand that historically speaking, for a second-term president in the midterms, their second midterms, their party gets shellacked. That's what history tells us. But then again, if you look at where Republicans have been, as I said before, in 2010 and 2012, they can be their own worst enemy sometimes. The Tea Party has cost them the seat in Nevada, and at least 3 or 4, if not 4 or 5 other seats that should have been easy pickups. So let's just say for a moment, which, as I said, I don't think it's possible. I mean, it is possible, but I don't think it's likely. I think my ultimate prediction is that Republicans will pick up 4 to 5 seats, and Democrats maybe 1 or 2. Maybe, as I said, Michelle Nunn in Georgia, daughter of former Senator Sam Nunn, or Allison London Grimes in Kentucky. So I honestly don't think Republicans will take the Senate back. I think that Democrats will hold their majority, although it'll probably only be a 1, maybe 2 seat majority. I think Democrats will hold it. But let's just say for a minute Republicans do take the Senate back in 2014. Let's just say that they do. Let's say they pick up the 6 seats. Let's say they even pick up 7. Let's just say for some crazy reason they pick up 7. Democrats pick up 0. And Republicans have a 52-48 majority. Well, that's only a 2-seat majority. That's not very strong. Let's look ahead to 2016. People have not talked about this. The 2016 Senate elections look really, really good for Democrats. The only seats that Democrats will have to defend in 2016, there are 4 on the West Coast, 5 Colorado, 6 Hawaii, Maryland, New York, Connecticut, and Vermont. That's not very many. That's only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 seats, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 seats. Out of those 10, all 10 of them, all 10 voted for President Obama twice. All 10. And all 10 are considered Democrat states. And so the only chance out of all those where Republicans really have pickup opportunities would be in Colorado, maybe, Nevada, maybe, where Harry Reid is up for re-election. And he seems to always know how to pull it out at the last minute. And so I don't really see a chance that Republicans picking up more than 1, maybe 2 seats in 2016. Let's look at what Republicans are holding, though. It's the complete opposite of what we're seeing in 2014. Republicans will have to defend seats in Florida, in New Hampshire, in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, in Wisconsin, in Illinois, all seats that voted for President Obama twice. So that's Florida 1, New Hampshire 2, Pennsylvania 3, Ohio 4, Wisconsin 5, Illinois 6. That's 6 seats that Democrats have a strong chance of picking up in 2016. And so I think it looks really good for Democrats going into 2016, especially if you get the down balloting effect. If, say, Hillary Clinton runs and the Democrat wins in 2016, that'll help pull a lot of minority voters to the polls in these states like Florida. And I think it could be really, really good. I see Democrats picking up 4, 5 seats. Maybe 3, even if they pick up 2. Don't forget, if Republicans take back the majority in 2014, they'll only have a 1 or 2 seat majority. I don't think if they do win the majority in 2014, they won't be in the majority for long. Because if you look forward towards 2016, I think it looks really, really good for Democrats. And so it'll especially be good for Democrats in 2016 if Republicans pick up the Senate in 2014, because then Democrats in 2016 can say, we had 2 years of a Republican Congress. They did absolutely nothing. They obstructed. The Tea Party was a pain in the rear end. And now it's time to put Democrats back in the majority in 2016. And so although things may look bad for Democrats in 2014, although personally, in my expert opinion, I don't think they will be as bad as we think today, especially looking back at 2000 2010 and 2012, where in 2012 Democrats even picked up seats in the Senate when they were expected to lose 2 or 3. And 2010 was a really, really bad year for Democrats, but they still held on to the Senate. And so I don't think it will be as bad for Democrats this November as people think. And even if it is bad for Democrats this November, even if it's worse than we think today, Democrats have something great to look forward to in 2016, not just electing another Democrat like Hillary Clinton president, but either strengthening their Senate majority or regaining back the Senate. So no matter what happens, I think Democrats are in an okay position. There's something to ponder.